Inquiry into state capture as we relive some of the moments from this morning, and fairly dramatic they have been. The acting government communications spokesperson Phumla Williams telling the state capture inquiry that the former communications minister Faith Muthambi was determined, in her words, to steal from government. She says Muthambi tortured her and wanted her to take all procurement responsibilities away from her department.
Minister Muthambi had ripped my scars of torture completely. I think when I was writing this letter, the effects of my torture were back. Chairperson, I was no longer sleeping. I had nightmares. I was reliving my situation. My facial twitches were back. I had panic attacks. I saw torture going through my body again. I never thought in this government people can do such things. I was tortured for weeks, and Muthambi did the same thing to my body. And that's why I wrote this letter, as a way of trying to get her to understand what she was doing. One, she was cheating the state, because basically I was being paid because she wanted that procurement at all costs. She wanted to steal at all costs. That removing of all those functions, it was a ploy to remove the finance and procurement away from me. They knew that they have removed me from doing cabinet work. I was going to be a nuisance, and they decided that the procurement and the finances must be removed from this woman. And that's basically what they did. I had to contend with those scars back in my system. I couldn't say to anyone what I was going through. I had to be assisted by colleagues at work, Mr. Simakane and Zukiswa, who made it their problem that every morning they come and check on me. My sister had to move in my house because at that point I was scared of going to bed because I thought the nightmares will come back. I started hearing those keys of my torture. That's all.
At that point in her testimony, then, Judge Zondo called a 10-minute recess to allow Phumla Williams to compose herself and gather her thoughts. Now, let's stay with the inquiry. Two Gupta brothers and former President Jacob Zuma's son, Duduzane Zuma, want to cross-examine former ANC MP Feki Mentor, the former GCIS head Themba Maseko, and the former Finance Minister Ncebisi Jonas. Judge Zondo has given them a day to make those submissions.
The directions are the following. One, counsel on all sides will file their written submissions with the Secretary of the Commission tomorrow at 10 a.m. I just emphasize that they are to be filed with the Secretary of the Commission. Two, subject to 3 below, The applications which have been filed will be heard on Wednesday this week at 10 a.m. 3, the date for the hearing of these applications is likely to remain Wednesday at 10 a.m., but may be moved to Thursday this week, depending on what transpires in communications between the Commission's legal team and counsel for Mr. Jonas and for Ms. Mentor with regard to whether or not they wish to be or want to be present when the applications are heard.